Welcome to Near Falls with D. Hall. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D. Hall. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. Talking Near Falls with D. Hall. Ready or not, he's here to brawl. Welcome to the Near Falls Wpial Show, where DL and Kaz are gonna tell you all the things you wanna know. Whether it's Trinity or Spencer Lee or Mr. Kurt Angle, just ask Vinny D, Wpial, yeah, Ken and Mac for sure. They got the interviews to soothe your soul, because it's Near Falls in the Wpial.
What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into another edition of Near Falls in the Wpial. It's your boy D Hall back again to break down week number 6 here in the Wpial. Great week. We had some fantastic tournaments, of course, highlighted by the Allegheny County tournament over at Fox Chapel. Great tournament. I love going out there and hanging out, watching the action, and it was some fantastic stuff. The Mercer VFW tournament, I believe it's called, was this weekend. We'll dive into that a little bit. Ringgold had a fantastic showing out there. The Brookville Ultimate Duels, which is a fantastic duel tournament up in Brookville, PA. Burrell had a great showing out there, and I know that's a tournament that they traditionally go to, so excited to break that down. But yeah, it's just going to be a great day here with your boy D Hall, and we will dive right into it here in a moment. All right, let's thank our sponsors. Mike Smith over at Smitty's Corner Rugs at smittyscornerrugs.com. Thank you for all the love and support. Mike Smith, Smitty. Man, if you don't have a set of corner rugs, what are you doing? It protects your mats. It protects your investment while classing up your event. They've been all over the place. The D1 Championship, Super 32, Powerade, Ironman, you name it. They've been there. Get you a set of Smitty Corner Rugs at smittycornerrugs.com. D1 Wrestling Club, Division 1 Wrestling at d1wrestling.com. Check them out down there in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania. Mr. Snapper, Mr. James Fleming, one of the best who ever suited up in the Wpial. Man, he's got something really special cooking down there in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania. Go check them out at d1wrestling.com. All right, the last and final sponsor is Mr. Jim Akerley over at Quest School of Wrestling down there in 84, Pennsylvania. That's at questwrestling.com. Jim, thank you so much for all the love and support over the years. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, go check out my long-form episode with Jim. Fantastic stuff. He was very open and honest in that episode. And, of course, his club is fantastic, man. You just go in there and you look at all the names that are on the wall and all the hats he has hung up. It's pretty special stuff. So, fantastic stuff there at Quest School of Wrestling at questwrestling.com. And the final sponsor, cannot forget my main man, Chris Cars over at Switch Custom Apparel. Was able to hand a couple t-shirts out at the Allegheny County tournament courtesy of Switch Custom Apparel. So thank you, Chris Cars. And if you ever need any work or t-shirt design, any apparel design, Chris Cars, right over there in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania. It's a no-brainer. It's Switch Custom Apparel. He's the best. Been working with him for years. I love my man Chris. So if you need anything done, go hit him up. That's Chris Karge at Switch Custom Apparel. All right. Let's get into it, huh? It was a great weekend. Allegheny County was fantastic. I was following along tightly. I will give love like I usually do to PA Power. The Rockfin count. You're able to watch pretty much everything. You can go back and watch. It's just good stuff. What Jeff's got going on, and of course Kaz was, doing the finals. If you haven't watched them, go back. You can go into the Rockfin. I believe it's the Allegheny County Tournament Hub. I think it's Mat 2. It's the one that's like 7 hours long. I just watched it. You can scroll, obviously you can watch, whatever you want, but you can scroll all the way through, watch the Parade of Champions, watch the finals. Kaz commented the whole way through. He does a fantastic job. I got to give him some love, my man. You do great stuff. You and Smitty, you guys are fantastic doing play-by-play. It's really good to see. Just the excitement that you guys take and the pride, the stats you were saying on the backside. Of course, all the coaches and things of that nature. But yeah, got to give you some flowers there, Kaz. You did a great job, buddy. I really enjoyed sitting there and watching the finals. But let's just dive right into the brackets. Like we always do, we're going to start off at 106. Let's try this. I'm going to try doing something a little bit different with you guys. So you're not just staring at my ugly mug the whole show. I'm going to share a screen here. We're going to go to the Flow Arena screen. All right. So you look at this tournament. You look at this bracket. I'm sorry, not tournament. Well, it is tournament. 107 pounds. My man right here, Javion Chambers, had a great weekend until he ran into Anthony Jones. This match here, before we get into the finals, this match here, right here, my man Bryce Thomas, I'm telling you guys, he had freaking the old all the way around his face, trying to get that blood to stop. And, you look at the box score here, semifinals, right? He gets a 2-point near fall in the third period. All he needed was one more swipe, one more near fall point to get the tie and send it to overtime. One of the best matches I saw early. It was straight dogfight. I was really, really impressed with that. And before that, I was able to watch Bennett Ferraro wrestle on the backside. He's really impressive. It was a great weight class. 107 is one of those classes like we talk about, almost I feel like every show. It's kind of open. You don't really know. You get a lot of freshmen, but man, Anthony Jones has really stated his claim as one of the best guys, not only in the Wpial, but in the state. I certainly think, he has a, mark for probably being number one in the Wpial right now at 107. He's doing fantastic stuff. He's undefeated. He has wins over a lot of tough guys. Javion Chambers now, Bennett Ferraro. He beat Michael Johnson. He won King of the Mountain. So, yeah, Mr. Anthony Jones is a problem at 107 and just continues to dominate. Great match, of course, in the finals. And Chambers, we saw him do great things last week at Midwinter Mayhem. Just one of those guys at 107. Both these guys that, I expect to be in the mix down the stretch. All right, 114 pounds. This is 2 words. Bruce Anderchuk. My man is a hammer. He buzzsawed through this weight. You look at his box scores. Pin in the first period, 34 seconds in the round of 32. Round of 16, he gets a tech fall 15-0 before the first period. So that's impressive. Round in the quarters, he gets a tech fall 15-0. In the semis, he gets a tech fall 16-0. And in the finals, he gets a tech fall 17-1. Fresh off getting his 100 wins. Just impressive stuff for Bruce and the Quaker Valley program. Of course, I got a lot of love for the Quaker Valley boys. They had a great weekend, but not as good as some of the other teams we're going to talk about here in a minute. Robert Cordova, great weekend for Thomas Jefferson. You look at where he was at. He lost early in the quarters and made all the way back and, took third. So to drop down, win your blood round, and come back and take third is a big reason why we're going to talk about here in a minute. The Thomas Jefferson, broke the scoring title at Allegheny Counties, of course, in a winning fashion. They took home the championship trophy. But man, guys like Robert Cordova, who took third place, just really, really impressive stuff. Brady Rohali took fourth from North Hills. Charlie LaQuatra took second from North Allegheny. Jaden Paulenbein from Bethel Park took fifth. Dominic Caldwalder from Thomas Jefferson took sixth. Damian Phipps from Penn Hills took seventh. And Karsten Kritchner from Moon took eighth. So yeah, you look at, like I said, you look at that weight though. Anderchek's a monster. All right. 121. Pierce Reinhardt gets the championship over Jonathan Emma, gets the fall in the finals. Impressive stuff because it was deadlocked 0-0 whenever he got the fall. I thought those two were pretty evenly matched. Jonathan Emma is starting to pick it up. He's a guy that had a good tournament over at Burgettstown and then follows it up this weekend, finds himself in the finals. But Pierce Reinhardt for Bethel Park, fantastic weekend, beats Kazanovic from Avonworth in the semis. Kazanovic comes back and takes third. Kazanovic, a guy that wrestles really good at this tournament. Schomburg from North Allegheny takes fourth. Warzen from Fox Chapel, a guy that we've seen do some nice things, takes fifth. Brock Dennison from South Allegheny takes sixth. Sean Haley from West Mifflin takes seventh. And Ethan Coate from Thomas Jefferson takes eighth. Another guy sneaking onto the podium there for TJ. But Pierce Reinhardt, you look at his box scores for the weekend. Fall, and then he gets a fall in the round of 16, tech fall in the quarters, beats Kazanovic, and then beats Emma. So solid weekend for the Blackhawk. All right, 127. This was I really enjoyed the semifinals, at least one match in particular. We'll dive into it. Evan Sala, kind of a breakout performance for him, right? He came from, oh boy, I don't even know. Looks like maybe the 5 seed. Yeah, so he gets a tech fall in the quarters, or gets a tech fall in the round of 16, gets a pin in the quarters, sorry. And then the semifinals, he had a dogfight with Ethan Sala, or Landon Funk and Ethan Sala had a dogfight. Ultimate ride out all the way down to the last freaking second. Just impressive stuff. He got the escape, scored first, kind of one of those things, couldn't hold each other's down, and got the escape in the last ride out. And then, of course, follows it up and gets a 1-0 decision in the finals there over Colton Fisher. So, yeah, top on top. Just a breakout performance for Mr. Sala, and back-to-back great performances from two Mount Lebo guys. All right, 133. This dude here loves to wrestle at the Allegheny County tournament. Cale Yannick comes out and gets the championship, defeats Gus Studiford in the semifinals 4-2, and then beats Seth Miller in the finals 7-0. Before that, he defeated Logan Conley from Straw Valley, who ended up taking 6th. Studiford ended up taking 3rd. Jonah Cable from Shaler took 4th. Yusuf Abersalam Salam from Fox Chapel took 5th. Peeler Venice from South Fayette took 7th. And Brandon Washington from Gateway took 8th. But you look at this weight, Cale Yannick wins his second county title. Really impressive stuff. One of the more deeper weight classes, I would say, at the top end. Those three guys are really, really good. All three guys I expect to, be right there to go to the region tournament. I want to keep saying, go to the state tournament. Now we got to go region tournament before we go to the state tournament. But yeah, so I was impressed to see Cale's performance to get his second county championship. All right, 139 pounds. Dom Ferraro from Pine Richland takes home the championship. Pretty dominating fashion, too. You look at his box scores. He gets a pin in the first round of 32, pin in the round of 16, tech fall in the quarterfinals over Aiden Stout, which those that have listened to the show, I like Aiden Stout. I'm a fan of him. Talon Mazenko gets a decision over him, 7-0, and then gets a tech fall victory over Owen Campbell in the finals. Just impressive stuff for Ferraro, a guy that seems to be turning it up a notch here at the right time. And, man, he's just scoring points in bunches, and I expect to, see him, big things on the state level this year. I really like Dom Ferraro. Of course, so you look at the rest of the way here. Owen Campbell takes second. Matt Dana takes third. Talon Mazenko takes fourth. Aiden Buford takes fifth. Jacob Chacon from Montfort takes sixth. Aiden Stout from Bethel Park takes seventh. Luke Pawlowski from Gateway takes eighth. Now, you look at the backside, Matt Dana and Owen Campbell was a really good match. I'm sorry, not on the backside. In the semifinals, it was 4-3. Really, really tight. All the way down to, I believe it was Ultimate Ride Out. It was another one of those, straight dogfight matches. And then you go to the backside of it. Dana bounced down and wrestled Buford, put a good match on there, had a tech fall, and then beat Mazenko by tight 7-4 decision. Mazenko beat Chacon 8-6. So, yeah, pretty deep weight class here at 139 pounds, but clearly the class was Dom Ferraro, and he just seems to be picking it up, man. He's definitely impressive. All right. Speaking of impressive, my man Ramil Islamov, who was just on the show a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't already, go back and check out that interview. Pretty cool stuff there. But, man, he had a weekend just dominating the entire way through. Tech fall, forfeit in the semis, and then tech fall in the finals. And then, the guy, Lucas Boyer, is no slouch from Elizabeth Ford. And he put it on him. So, yeah, Ramil is another one of those guys that seems to be picking it up at the right time. Lucas Boyer also, just had a great weekend in getting to the finals. Of course, on the bottom side there, I keep wanting to say backside, but the bottom side there, Ethan Higgins and Luke Boyer, that 1-0 match in the semis. It was tight, really, really tight. And it was just, one escape match. So Higgins is a guy that, we've seen start to level up and has leveled up the last couple of years for Bethel Park. And, I think he's going to be right there at the Wpial tournament to go to the regional and try to put his, find a spot at the state tournament. And, Luke Boyer, certainly one of the best guys in AA. But Ramil, just impressive stuff. The rest of the way, Elijah Thomas takes fourth for Moon. Dustin Kerr takes fifth for Hampton. Elijah Elsler from Brashear takes sixth. Caleb Crawford from Bethel Park takes seventh. And Zach Schmidt from Alderdice takes eighth. Of course, Ethan Higgins comes back and takes third. But yeah, all three of those guys at the top, I expect to do big things. All right, 152 pounds. Maddox Shaw makes his return to the mat, and it looks like he didn't skip a beat, man. He Watched him in the semifinals wrestle Derek Worstel. Derek Worstel had a great tournament. We'll talk about him here in a second. But Maddox Shaw, just impressive stuff. One of the best guys in the country, just doing what he does for the TJ Jaguars. Gets a fall in the round of 32, fall in the round of 16, fall in the quarters, fall in the semis, and tech fall in the finals. Just impressive stuff for Maddox Shaw, the Ohio State Buckeye commit. I'm excited to see what he does there, obviously, next year. But, man, he's one of the best guys in the state, and I certainly think that he has a great chance to get back on top of the podium in Hershey. But Luke Dunlap takes second for South Fayette. Griffin Reed takes third. Trent Reese takes fourth. Derek Worster takes fifth. Jack Deemer takes sixth. Ian Buccelli takes seventh. Travis Lindsay takes eighth for Moon. But yeah, so Worstel, I was, watching him. I talked to his dad from time to time. He's a great dude. My man was unseeded, goes and makes the semis. It's impressive stuff. And then beats Deemer twice. Deemer, no slouch from Quaker Valley. I believe he got his 100th victory this weekend. Griffin Reed, I was super impressed with him. He's no joke. He's really, really good. Just barely lost a tight one to Trent Reese in the quarterfinals, but then he comes back and just rips through the backside. Just tech falls Lindsay from Moon, tech falls Worstel, and then gets a forfeit in the third place match over Reese. But Reed, a guy that probably should be highlighted in some people's minds as a potential riser. I was certainly impressed watching him. All right, 160 pounds, a little bit of wildness here. The number one seed went down early and didn't end up placing. That was Rook Smith from Montour. Loses in the round of 16 to Liam Costa. Now, I believe we talked about this. Me and Kaz. I saw Kaz was, of course, like we talked about earlier, did a fantastic job on the mic for the finals. But so Liam Costa, believe they wrestled at the MAC tournament. And yes, they did. So Liam Costa wrestled Rook Smith at the MAC tournament literally 9 days before that and beat him 5-4. So, I'm sure that was because of, seeding points and things of that nature. But Liam Costa goes out and gets the decision there in the round of 16. And then he gets beat by Braden White, who ends up going and gets the championship for Thomas Jefferson. 2 back-to-back Jaguars. Braden White, a guy that just continues to ascend, just shooting up the rankings. I know that, you listen to some of the other shows like Jeff Upson's show, PA Power's show. They talked about Braden White just really just rising quickly. And I'm sure his stock did not fall this weekend. You look at his box scores. He gets a fall in the round of 32, a fall in the round of 16, a major decision over Costa in the quarters, a tech fall in the semis, and then a major decision over Cole Gibbons, the state qualifier, in the finals. He's a problem, man, and so is the whole TJ Jaguar team. Like I said before, they dominated this weekend, clear and away, won by 30 or 60 points or something ridiculous over Bethel Park. So yeah, just impressive stuff for Mr. Braden White there in the finals. Let's see here. The rest of the way, Cole Gibbons takes second, Cooper Dietz takes third, Milo Chu from Fox Chapel takes fourth, Liam Costa takes fifth, Cheney Lewis takes sixth, Kellen Buggy takes seventh, Alex Wiley takes eighth. Cheney Lewis, another guy that you can kind of highlight in this weight. He is right there. He's a freshman 160 pounds when you're a freshman is sometimes a difficult task. And it's proven to be, some of the case here for Chaney. Chaney, certainly one of the most talented freshmen in the class, and I expect him to do big things in his career. So just a guy that I want people to, keep in the back of their minds. All right, 172 pounds. Guess what? Another Thomas Jefferson Jaguar. Bodie Marlowe takes home the championship here. Another dominating weekend. Bodie Marlowe, another guy that is turning it up at the right time. Just incredible stuff. Tech fall in the round of 32. Tech fall in the round of fall in the round of 16. Sorry, fall in the quarterfinals, fall in the semifinals, and Tech fall in the finals. And looking at these scores, he's putting up points before he pins these dudes. It's not like he just takes them down and pins them. So Bodie Marlowe, just another one of the best guys in the state. Fantastic weekend for him. Rest of the way, Carter Morvay from North Hills takes second. Julian Sepulak from Plum takes third. Marcus Ritchie from Quaker Valley takes fourth. Mac Miller from Pine Richland takes fifth. Michael Lawrence from Char Valley takes sixth. Devin McCauley from Mount Lebo takes seventh. Caden Willis from West Mifflin takes eighth. Another guy that we can kind of look at, Morvay. He is another guy that you got to look at as shooting up the rankings and had a fantastic weekend. He ran into the buzzsaw that was Bodie Marlowe, and there's not many guys in the state that are beating Bodie Marlowe right now. But you look at his way to the finals. He beats Mac Miller in the quarters, which we know what Mac Miller could do. One of the best guys in the Wpial. And then he beats Michael Lawrence in the semis, 5-4, before running into Marlowe. So Morvay, had a great weekend last weekend at Burgettstown. Follows it up with a fantastic weekend here at the Allegheny County Tournament. 189 pounds. Nez Green from Central Catholic stops the Jaguars' run, gets the championship over Zach LeBrier in a 5-4 tight decision in the finals. You look at this bracket, Nez Green gets the championship, Zach LeBrier second, Wyatt Markovich from South Park takes third, Trent Miller from TJ takes fourth, Jack Vitti from Fox Chapel takes fifth, Mason Hartung from North Allegheny takes sixth, Bryce Metz from Avonworth takes seventh, Jaden Calhoun from Highlands takes eighth. Nez Green, a guy that we've been watching for years, great weekend for him. Beats Hartung from North Allegheny in the semis, and then beats LeBrier in the finals. LeBrier coming off a fantastic weekend from Midwinter Mayhem. I was interested to see how he would respond to that success, and he had a great weekend before running into the Nez Green 215. Speaking of different type of human beings, Roman Thompson is one of the more athletic 215-pounders I've seen in some time. And, those that have listened to the show for some time know that I like big guys. I'm a big guy. Aficionado, I would say. I love heavyweight wrestling. I love 215 wrestling. And Roman Thompson, for being just a sophomore, he's problems, man. He really, really is. The Central Catholic Viking coming out of the 1 seed. You look at his way to the finals, fall in 15 seconds, fall in 1:29 after putting up 12 points, fall in the semis in 2 minutes and 19 seconds after putting up 14 points, and then fall in the finals in the first period after putting up 9 points. So you look at the rest of the weight class. Vito Bracabecchio from Shaler takes second. Braden Suter from Carlington takes third. Hunter Goals from Bethel Park takes fourth. Trevor Signetti from Shaler takes fifth. Joey Geller from Fox Chapel takes sixth. Alex Brackman from North Hills takes seventh. And Brennan Brissinger from Quaker Valley takes 8th. Briesinger, a tough freshman, a guy that, we got to highlight, keep our eyes open for. Takes 8th year, but, wrestling 215 as a freshman is not fun. It's very tough sometimes. You're going up against grown men. Briesinger has all the skills. I expect him to do big things. But you look at the rest of this weight class. Brockovecchio from Shaler had a great run to get to the finals. Beats Suter in the semis, 8-6. Suter, comes back and takes 3rd. I really was interested to see who would win that. Weight. I figured Thompson was the class of the 215-pound weight class. But Brockovecchio getting there. Suter is a problem sometimes. He rides legs. It can slow you down in that way, but not the case here in the semis. And of course, like I said, Roman Thompson, just a different type of being. Very interested to see where he stacks up with the rest of the guys. And, of course, the 215-pound class in the Wpial is pretty loaded. All right, 285 pounds. Shep Turk takes the championship for the TJ Jaguars. Pretty dominating fashion. You look at his box scores here. Fall in the first period, in the round of 32, fall in the round of 16, fall in the quarterfinals, fall in the semifinals, and 11-0 major decision in the finals. Turk, a guy that just is one of the best big guys in the state. He's huge, really tough to move, really tall, and he moves well. So combination of all those things just make it for a great heavyweight. Of course, the Pitt football commit, and I love that he's fully committed to wrestling for the year and going to all the tournaments and doing all the big things, because football makes you a better wrestler and wrestling makes you a better football player. I love all that. All right, so that was the Allegheny County tournament. Of course, we talked about the championships. The championship there for the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars, 292 points, 4 champs, a second, 2/3, a fourth, a sixth, and an eighth. Impressive stuff. Bethel Park coming in second. They had a champ, 2 seconds, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, 3 sevenths. Fox Chapel takes third. They had a third, a fourth, 4 fifths, a sixth, and a seventh. North Allegheny and Moon round out the top 5. So, you look at that. That's impressive stuff there for TJ. I'm getting ready to see where they're going to slot in here in the team race. It's going to be exciting. All right. Let's see, where was I at? So, we're going to remove that for now. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Mike Smith at Smitty'sCornerRugs.com. If you don't have a Smitty's Corner rug for your mat, for your club, for your event, what are you doing? You see him at the D1 Wrestling Championships, Powerade, Ironman, Super 32, the best in the business. Thank you so much, Mike Smith, over at Smitty'sCornerRugs.com. Division 1 Wrestling at D1Wrestling.com. That's Mr. James Fleming. Thank you so much for your love and support. One of the best dudes to ever suited up in the Wpial. One of the meanest dudes to ever suited up in the Wpial, for sure. Go down and check him out. He's doing great stuff at his wrestling club. That's Division 1 Wrestling Club down there in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania. Thank you for all the love and support, Mr. James Fleming. Again, that is D1Wrestling.com. Check it out. Mr. Jim Akerley over at Quest School of Wrestling at QuestWrestling.com. Thank you for the love and support. Man, we've had some great conversations over the years. I encourage all you to go and check out my long form episode with Jim Akerley. It was absolutely incredible. You go into his club and it's just, it's impressive stuff. He has his hats lined up of all the guys that have wrestled there and, worked out there and trained there. And it's not stopping anytime soon. He has some great partners down there. So, the name speaks for itself. And I really appreciate his willingness to sponsor and support the show. Thank you again, Mr. Jim Akerley at questwrestling.com. And of course, my main man, Chris Cars over at Switch Custom Apparel. Thank you so much for everything over the years, my man. Again, I was able to give out a bunch of t-shirts at the Allegheny County Championships this weekend. All thanks to Chris Cars over at Switch Custom Apparel. If you're in the south or the west side of Pittsburgh, check him out. He's over in Bridgeville. He has a great shop. Can do all your embroidery, apparel needs, hats, shirts, pullovers, jackets, whatever you need, bags. He's the man. That's Chris Cars at Switch Custom Apparel. I guess next we should probably go over to the Brookville Ultimate Duels. Burrell goes 4-1 there. Just losing to Reynolds in the finals, 33-30. Not long ago, I believe it was last week, Reynolds and Grove City wrestled. I forget what. It's a Facebook page I follow for all the North teams. I believe it's 96.7. I'd have to look it up, but his name's Bob Greenberg. He does a fantastic job up north, and they had the match, and it came down to the last match, Grove City and Reynolds, and Reynolds goes out and beats Burrell here, and we got to think about all those teams up north because I believe it's the second team from the Wpial goes up and wrestles one of those schools, so it's good for Burrell to go up there and get a look. And they had a great weekend, just falling short to Reynolds. It's a great look for, I'm sure, the Burrell coaching staff liked it, and, they'll take that and use it to their benefit. Next one we got to talk about, let's see here. The Bison Duels at Clearfield High School. Butler went up there. There were some pretty good teams up there. 15 different teams, so good bunch of schools. Butler went 3-2 up there. Indiana went up there, 1-4. But if you look individually, Sloboda had a great weekend, of course. Connor Putt had a great weekend. Nico Finella had a great weekend. Yeah, just look at that tournament. 15 different teams up north. Good for those guys to get away and get some different action. Butler and Indiana up there. Let's see what else we got. I know Mercer had a VFW tournament that we need to talk about. Ringgold goes out and gets the championship there. 26 different teams. Impressive stuff for Ringgold to come home with the championship. You look at the box score, of course, led by Mr. Jay Conroy, just dominating. Impressive stuff for him the whole way through. I don't think, and I'm going to check his stats right now. Let's look at it together. So he bumped up in Wrestle Turk, which we talked about. But other than that, my man has not had a decision. That's crazy. So he's either had, he has, let's see, let's look here. For this year, 17 pins. 17 pins. No one's talking about Jake Conroy. He has 100 pins in his career. 105. Just impressive stuff. One of the best dudes in the Wpial, one of the best dudes in the state. I'm sure it doesn't get enough. I'm sure it doesn't get not enough love. I should be giving him more love. 105 freaking pins. Every time I look at his stats, I just shake my head. He's just ridiculous. I'm going to Cornell, of course. But yeah, other than Shep Turk, which he bumped up and got that victory, which we just talked about Shep Turk on how ridiculously good he is and how big he is. Yeah, Jake Conroy's a problem. There's no doubt about it. And a guy that I expect to see, very high on top of the podium, if not on the top of the podium at Hershey this year. So, yeah, I got to give Jake Conroy a little love. Great weekend for him. Braden Welsh from Fort Cherry had a great weekend. Christian Loeffler from Ringgold had a great weekend. He gets the championship. Caleb Patton gets the championship over Sean Robertson. Evan Tolliver gets the championship at 127 pounds. Beaver County Christian kid gets the championship at 107 pounds. Grayson Stroop. Tolliver wins at 127. Leaf Serco wins at 114. Serco, another guy that we've talked about for Ringgold. Ringgold's got a sneaky nice team. I think that they can make some noise at the Wpial tournament for sure. But yeah, you look down that tournament, just impressive stuff to see Ringgold win that with how many teams were there. At the Mercer VFW, we got 26 teams, like I said. Impressive stuff there for the Ringgold Rams. All right. Where else we got to go to? Top Gun. I did see that. I saw that. Whatchamacallit. My man took second place, I believe. Gabe Lilly. Yes. Lost to Tyson Clear from Malvern Prep. 6-2 in the finals. But yeah, Gabe Lilly goes out and takes second. Derek Allen takes fifth. So cool to see two guys get on the podium. Of course, Top Gun, one of the best tournaments up there in Alliance, Ohio. That's a great one. Okay, what else we got? Trinity went to Berkshire Battle of the Belt at Berkshire High School in Ohio. They took home the championship there out of 19 schools. You look down the finals list here, and they had 5 champs. Hoy at 106, Canale at 126, Wright at 132, Allison at 144, and Bruckner at 190. They had Junko take second at 138 and Luke Boland take second at 150. But yeah, Trinity, a school, of course, close to my heart. Coach Tarquinio, they have a good squad. Certainly not as good as the last few years, but definitely a squad that can do some damage with the likes of Canale and Allison, Junko, etc. All right. Escape the Rock. I believe Connellsville was there, the only one there. Evan Petrovich goes out and takes 5th place. Kai Viomia takes 4th place. Both guys, just impressive stuff. That tournament out there has turned into one of the toughest tournaments in the country, more of a, prep tournament. A lot of tough schools go out there. The Malverns, the Sems, the Blairs. Just impressive stuff to see those guys play. Kai Vioma, just a sophomore. I know that he probably wanted to get on the podium at Powerade. Finds his way on the podium here. Good to see him moving in the right direction. Evan Petrovich, as steady as they come, I feel like. Just gets it done week in and week out, and he's going to be just a fantastic addition to that pit room when he gets there. All right. What else do we got? I believe that's pretty much it. Preview next week or the week that's coming real quick. Let's see what duels do we got. Franklin Regional at Norwin. That's a fantastic duel tonight. Fred Bell tournament this weekend. The Cold Cracker tournament, Kinemax going up there. Thomas Automotive tournament. Best Center, Burrow, Fraser, West Green's going there. Ultimate Warrior tournament. That's a great tournament on West Branch High School. Armstrong, Bentworth, Derry, Indiana. Peters Township is going out there. Let's see what else we got. Buckeye Local, just one school, little neighborhood academy. Fred Bell's the big one. Avonworth, Bell Vernon, Central Valley, Fort Cherry, Hampton, Kiski, Laurel, McGuffey, Moon, Pine Richland, Southside Beaver, Trinity, and West Mifflin. Then there's the Sharon Doles. You got a couple schools going there. Elizabeth Forwood, Elwood City, Freedom, Beaver County Christian, Ringgold, Jefferson Morgan, Highlands. So another full week ahead, highlighted by the Fred Bell tournament up in Grove City, PA. Great stuff here. All right. And I believe that is all the time I have for you guys. That's it. That's all. And again, thank you to our sponsors, Mike Smith at Smitty'sCornerRugs.com, James Fleming at Division1Wrestling.com, and Jim Akerley at QuestWrestling.com. Thank you guys so much for your love and sponsorship. We really appreciate it. Keeps us going, keeps us moving. You guys are the best. And of course, Chris Carr's over at Switch Custom Apparel. Thank you for all the love and support over the years. And thank you guys. Been hanging out with me for about 50 minutes, shooting the shit, talking about wrestling, my favorite thing to do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you guys again next week for another edition of Near Falls in the Wpial, week number 7.